Welcome to Money Chic Financial Education with Shari Rash, the podcast that's here to empower you with the knowledge and skills you need to master your personal finances and live your best financial life. Today, I am joined by Judy Heft. Judy is the founder and president of Judith Heft Associates, celebrating over 28 years helping high net worth individuals and small businesses with bookkeeping and bill pay. She's an author, financial organizer, bookkeeper, and much more. In her role as a professional and personal financial organizer, Judy combines her talents and experience in organization and financial assistance. Recognizing the unique needs of each client, Judy steps in with customized organization services, including bill paying, financial record keeping, tracking of expenses and contributions, and related correspondence with banks, vendors, insurance companies, and healthcare providers. Her books, How to Be Smart, Successful, and Organized for a Better Today and Tomorrow, and Mastering Your Financial Life Cycles, How to Successfully Manage Money in Every Decade of Life, are available on Amazon. Judy, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, Shari, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure. I'm looking forward to this.
Reading your bio, I'm getting tired of all the things that you do. It's so many things that you do, and you don't realize as a adult. I talk about adulting all the time. As an adult, as a business owner, all the things that you have to do that as a business owner really don't have anything to do with your skill set of your business. If you are a doctor, you don't learn really how to run a business in medical school. If you're a chiropractor, you don't learn how to run a business. You have to do all of these things, and you seem to do that for your clients. So tell me a little bit of what is a financial and lifestyle concierge. What do you do for people?
So the main thing that when I started this business 28 years ago, I started doing bookkeeping and bill pay for seniors because I thought there was really a niche that, people really needed that service. And when I say seniors, I mean the 80 to 100-year-old category, not what AARP calls seniors at 50. But so, I started working with that. And then I was networking one day and someone said to me, "Do you only work with seniors?" And I said, "No, of course not." Not realizing. And that's really how the business grew. It kind of grew organically. And so the main thing that we do is really, like you said, the bookkeeping and the bill pay. These are people that are high net worth. Most of them are pretty busy. They have a lot going on. And they have, multiple properties. And, we approach running a household like running a small business. And you really need to know what's going on so you can handle that. So that's really the main thing that we do. And there's also other project work that comes in. We work with some divorce attorneys where the clients don't have any idea where to begin to put their statement of net worth financial affidavits together. We work with some executors that don't have financial acumen, that someone might have named their friend or a child or an adult child or a cousin, and they're not really finance people. And so we help with the executors. We do the bookkeeping and bill pay piece of that too. So we do a lot of different projects. We're working with some clients right now who really just want to get a handle on their spend. They have no idea. They're swiping credit cards all day, and you really need to know your numbers. So we do a lot of different types of things. And we still have a lot of senior clients, too, that we're helping.
That's fascinating. And it is so needed. I'm sure as everyone's listening to you and explaining what you do, it's like, yeah, I could use that. That would be nice, right? Mm-hmm. And running a home it is running a business. If you make a mistake or you make really big decisions that can impact you forever, good or bad, and you need help with making those decisions or running your home. I toy every so often with, I say, I need someone to manage my household. When, when the toilet paper runs out, when, we manage our grocery shopping, getting the kids to all of their activities, I need someone to do that for me because I do run a business and it does take up so much of my time, but so does running a household. And then finances are a big part of that. And many people, I say all the time that when we graduate college or start our jobs, we're just kind of expected to know how to manage our money, but no one ever teaches us it. So even just what some of us would consider simple as paying bills or understand where our money is going can be really complex and difficult for someone else because our brains all work differently.
That's so true. And anybody could just go online and click pay bill. That's the easy part of it. But it's just really tracking and having an understanding of what you're doing and what you're spending. And, are you paying the right bills? Or how does this fit into my spending plan? I like to say spending plan. I like it better than a budget. It's not as daunting, right?
I say that I call it a spending strategy. I do not say the B word either. I do not like the word budget. I love that you said that. It's so true. And I 100% agree with that. And it's all.
I just want to say so a lot of the things that you were saying, driving the kids, making appointments, maybe writing your holiday cards. So we have our lifestyle division, which is about 4 years old. And we do all of those tasks too for our clients when they're busy.
That's amazing because it does. I always say we're recording this in May. May and December are the most stressful months of the year, especially if you have young kids, because we're winding down school. We're at our wits' end. We're done. We just need summer. We need a break. But there's all the parties and the gifts and everything that goes into it. Coaches' gifts, teachers' gifts, bus driver gifts, everything you can think of. And then we have to send in. I just got an email that we need to send in paper bags with handles as soon as possible for class this week. And I'm assuming it's so they can bring all their arts and crafts home. But there's so much going on this time of year and around the holidays that you do feel like you need to split yourself in half or in thirds to get it all done. So it sounds like that you created a solution for many parents that feel the way I do.
Absolutely. And I think especially, dads too, but I think it's mostly the moms that get all the brunt of all the things with the children that they have to do, shopping for birthday presents, to go to the party and coordinating all of that, whatever needs to be done, getting camp organized. There's just so much. It really is. And then, it just all rests on our shoulders. As women, we are wired that we can do everything. We want to do everything, but it's nice to get a little help from an assistant once in a while too.
Oh my gosh, you mentioned camps. Come the first week of January, I have my calendar printed out where every kid is going, 3 different options for each week in case one gets booked up. Summer camp, that's a whole beast. So does your team provide these services mostly virtually for your clients, or do they come to one's home and kind of work through things?
We do both. A lot of it is done virtually, especially we have clients all over the country. Mm-hmm. And I don't have people, all the bookkeeping is done virtually and remotely. The bookkeepers are all remote. But as far as the lifestyle division, we have people, we're in Fairfield County, so we have people in the tri-state area where we'll go to their houses and help them with different things. Some people, want us to help coordinate their, organize their closets too. It's not only business things, or, their home office needs help, or, whatever the case may be. So in those cases in the tri-state area, we are able to, go in person. But for a lot of things, like we had a couple of clients that needed to downsize their second home. This is a senior couple and they're not using that anymore. So we vetted a realtor in that area. We helped them figure out, we got a stager in there so they could sell it. We helped them figure out what they're going to take, what would go to their new home in Florida, what goes to their kids, and what gets donated or tossed. So we do a lot of that type of work. So a lot of that was done remotely, working with different people in different areas.
So pretty much people are coming to you saying, I have this need, or I have this desire, or this kind of pain in my side. Can you alleviate it for me, or can you help me with this?
Maybe I need to change the name of it to stress reliever.
That's right.
As we're talking, I'm thinking, yeah, we do relieve. I was talking to a woman the other day, just yesterday, actually, a client, and she's just so stressed out with almost that she has to do. And, I said, don't worry, we're going to relieve some of that stress for you. No need to be stressed over these things because there are people out there that can help.
That's right. Absolutely. And in today's world, it's kind of like when the iPhone first came out, there was the saying, well, there's an app for that. Well, now, with virtual and Zoom and all of these things, there's really someone that can help you with every need that you have. And it sounds like you and your firm, you kind of handle most of them, that you've found a solution to help people with most of their challenges, for sure.
Exactly.
So let's talk about kind of reasons to outsource bookkeeping. We're a money show, right? And so let's talk a little bit about bookkeeping personally and business wise. Why does it make sense as a business owner or just as a busy person, you don't necessarily have to be a business owner to outsource bookkeeping. Why does that make sense? What are reasons to do that?
So I think, a lot of people don't realize that there's somebody that can handle personal bookkeeping for you because they think it's just, a simple thing. We just go on there and, like I said before, click pay bill and it's done. But I think, for planning purposes, if you're doing your estate plan or getting your will in order and planning for your children or planning for your future, you need to know what your numbers are. You need to know what you're spending. You need to know what's coming in. You need to know all those little details. And that's so important. And I think a lot of people think I'm just an individual. I don't need to know that. But that's the wrong answer. You really do need to know that. And of course, for business bookkeeping, you want to outsource that, because one thing I learned a long time ago as a business owner, I want to work on what's my unique brilliance, and I want to delegate the rest of that stuff because I don't have time to do everything. There's only 24 hours in the day, and I'm sleeping for some of those hours, I hope. And
Hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. So we need to learn, what can I take off my plate and what can I delegate to a great assistant who can help me. So I think that's really a big piece of that too, why it's so important to, I don't do my own bookkeeping for my business. I have bookkeepers that do it for me. And I think that's so important that bookkeeping, especially if that's not in your wheelhouse. I mean, it is for me, of course, but for a lot of other people, it's not in your wheelhouse.
Right.
Say you're an interior designer. You have a different kind of brain. You're an artist.
That's right.
Or even a doctor, we have a lot of lawyers as accountants. And I think it's really good to know you want to be growing your business. You don't want to be spending your time doing the, menial task of bookkeeping. You want to be out there networking, growing, or just visualizing the next thing to do, idealizing, if that's a word, just really thinking and brainstorming. So I think that's a really good reason to hire an outsourced bookkeeper. And also, they know all the ins and outs. I mean, if you're going to be doing payroll, you don't want to be doing that yourself. You want to hire a payroll service and that your bookkeeper can liaise with. So it's really important to think about those things.
Do you find if someone comes to you just not as a business owner, but just as someone that works and is busy and, finances are not their thing and they've been, obviously managing their household finances, but do you sometimes see the struggle of like, but I should be doing this. Like, why would I outsource this? Like, I'm an adult. I should be able to do this. Why can't I? Do you ever see that? And how do you work someone through that?
Yeah, it's not about being an adult. It's just about having that skill set. Some people's brains don't work with numbers,
Yeah.
and like mine, I can't draw a stick figure. But I can handle numbers. So we all have our unique brilliances, as I like to call them, and we need to concentrate on that. And it's okay.
That's
we
right.
don't all do everything perfectly. And it's okay to accept that and admit it to yourself, I think. And know.
I think that's the biggest thing is admitting it, because I feel like society kind of treats us as we all should know how to do all of these things, even though we're never taught. Our brains don't work that way, but we all should know it. Like I was working with a client and helping her roll over her 401k, which to me, like I can do that in my sleep, right? That's completely a normal thing for me, something I talk about all the time. But for her, it was a really big deal. It was completely out of her comfort zone. She had never done it before. But then we call the service line together to initiate it. And the questions that they were asking in the language, it was so overwhelming. And if you don't do it every day, it's so overwhelming, and if your brain doesn't work that way. So I think that's a big thing with money, is that we have to realize, although we all use it every day and we can't survive without it, that we're not experts on it. The average person is not an expert on it, and that's okay as long as you find people to help you. And don't expect yourself to be an expert if your brain's not wired that way or you haven't had the training, but more importantly, get a team behind you to help you navigate.
Absolutely. And I think accepting help and learning when to delegate is so important. You really need to know that. It's okay, like you said, it's okay not to be good in math. Right. Not everybody is. Somebody might be a great writer. Right. It's just, like I said, we're all different. And I think sometimes there shouldn't be any shame around not being able to pay your own bills or not having that as in your wheelhouse. It's okay.
It's okay. Right.
We're different.
That's right. Yes, exactly. So what is share as much as you can, right? But what is the craziest bill you've paid for someone?
Let me think about that one for a while. There have been a lot of crazy stuff out there, I don't know. Oh, people that don't have any money that are charging. Oh, here's one. This couple has no money. They really don't. I mean, they're really struggling, and they know their parents they're adults, and their parents are paying for everything. And then, we see a bill for, $10,000 at a dermatologist for plastic surgery for some. And it's like they can't afford that. Or we have another client who insists on keeping her membership in this country club, and she can't afford it, but she doesn't want to give it up. I think that's a lot of it. People, it's not that they're crazy bills, but they're just, maybe a little irresponsible, or just not taking responsibility for that particular item. It's just, I studied quite a while ago on how to be a money coach, and I learned about all the different money styles. And some people are just gamblers and they take risks. And I think you have to be a gambler and take risks to be an entrepreneur, honestly. And then some people are the victim, and some people, just like, the tyrant, so there's all these different money styles. And that's what we were taught at a young age from our parents or other adults that were in our lives, like, if you're a good girl or a good boy, we'll buy you this. It doesn't always work that way. And that's what they kind of grow up to think, that, okay, I'm not good. I don't deserve to spend this on myself. So they're afraid to spend money. So there's two different sides to that. There's the ones that are just frivolous, and then there's the ones that are very nervous to spend money. So I think it's, knowing yourself is the most important thing there.
So how much do you find you're doing because I beat the same drum as you. I talk with my clients about what was your first money memory, and that really dictates your relationship with money for your whole life. What was your household like with money, talking about money? Were rich people bad, or we can't afford that, or what verbiage did you hear? Because that does shape your relationship with money forever. And everyone does have a different money personality, like you said. So I 100% agree with that. How often are you finding yourself helping a client identify that personality, or coaching them through some of these struggles that they may have?
We have to do that with a certain amount of clients, and, and hope that they take our suggestions, but I'm not going to babysit them. I have had some clients that say to me, I don't want you to tell me that I can't spend X amount of dollars on this. This is not what I want. And we're like, okay, I'm not going to babysit you. I mean, here's the spending plan we put together, and you're an adult and you need to try to keep, with it yourself. But we'll guide you, and we'll send you, get you in the right direction, but then it's really up to the individual to figure that out. It reminded me of a story that my sister was a little girl. One time, she wanted something, and my parents said, no, we don't have the money for that right now. And she said, well, just write a check. I think that's a mentality. It's credit.
Just swipe the credit card,
it's
right?
Changed, but I think, that's the mentality. And that's why people lose sight of what they're spending, because we're so busy swiping our credit cards all day, every day. And we're shopping online, at night we're laying in bed and we're on our phone, and we're, let me look on Amazon and see what kind of damage I can do, or whatever else. And so we don't have a sense of the organization of what we're really spending it on. So I think that's really another good reason, back to your original question of, why is it important to hire someone to do that? Because then you're really tracking everything by category, and you're really going to have a better handle on what you're spending. And that's so important.
Spending money really is painless today. Everything's done electronically. It's done through a credit card, or it's done online. And then when your bill comes, you kind of see a number, and then you just click pay, or you choose the amount that you pay, right? You don't necessarily have to pay it all off. You can just allocate a number to it. So it's so painless. You don't, and mindless. You don't even think about it. Do you ever, I guess, what I wanted to ask before was, do you ever find there's kind of a line between, I'm helping you organize your finances, take care of your bills. Is there a line that you don't want to cross, as far as like that $10,000 plastic surgery was not a good choice, or, slap on the wrist, don't do that again? Or do you kind of use the client to determine the line of kind of, don't tell me what to do?
It depends on the client. Some clients are happy to have us tell them that, and some clients don't want to hear it. So everybody's different.
And you kind of identify that through your conversations.
Right. And every client is individual. Like, we treat them all individually, even though we have a way of doing things, but they're still all different and they have their own comfort level. Someone's going to get annoyed with me if I say, you can't spend that money on that. And then they're going to leave. They don't want to hear that.
Right.
And then I'm not helping them.
Right.
But there's another client that might say, oh, thank you for telling me that. I wasn't thinking. You're right. I really shouldn't do that. So everybody has their own comfort level.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
One of the things I like to say is, taking care of your money is an act of self-love. If you love and care for your money properly, it'll love and care for you right back. And I think that's so important.
That's very true. It's very true. But by putting thought into it, nurturing it kind of, and really thinking about it pays dividends, no pun intended, but it does. Right?
Absolutely. And then also a lot of people think, you know what, I got this really great bargain. I bought this thing on sale, so I'll put it on my credit card, and then they're paying it off every month. And then the thing ends up costing what it did, a lot more than it did at regular price. And so that's another foolish thing that people do. We try to encourage people, pay your credit card off every month if you have to use a credit card, which is fine because we like our points and whatever. But pay that off every month. Don't carry those balances because then it's not worth it, especially even if you for points. Like
you're paying for the points at the end of the day, right? They're not free anymore to you. Right. Absolutely. Yes. Do you ever encourage clients to just be like, you know what, if you're noticing kind of a spending struggle they're having or living beyond their means, do you just say, you know what, you got to go to cash. You have to take an envelope out from the bank of cash every month and that's it. Do you find yourself suggesting that, or is that kind of just not the world we live in anymore?
I don't think cash is the world we live in anymore. I mean, I was at a concert last week. Actually, I was lucky enough to go to the Rolling Stones concert, which was kind of fun. But anyway, the point is signs all over the place, no cash.
No cash. Yeah.
No cash. And I think a lot of places are starting to be like that. Everything's debit or credit.
A debit or credit, right. I'm also noticing that if you go somewhere and they you use a credit card, they're charging you a fee for it.
Correct.
So now, so it's almost like now okay, well, if I don't want to pay that extra 1.5% or whatever the company is imposing on you, you then have to use cash. So it's like, it feels like both ends of the spectrum. It's like no cash allowed, or if I don't want to pay an extra percentage on what I'm buying, I have to use cash for that. So it's interesting.
And most people don't even carry cash though.
Yeah.
I've been in restaurants that do that too, where they say, okay, if you're going to use your card, it's 3% extra. Cash, is better. And sometimes I don't have cash with me.
Yeah. And then you can choose, going forward, well, maybe I don't want to go there anymore, right? Because I don't want to pay that, or I have to stop at the bank ahead of time and get some cash out, which but again, it's thinking about your money, making a decision about it, so instead of it being just a mindless thing, oh, well, I'll just pay it. I'll pay that 3% extra. You're making a choice. You're thinking about it and making decisions. And I think having, like you said, just thinking about your money more and being more conscious about it and choosing where you spend it or how you spend it really helps. Your money loves you back.
Right. And that also goes along with the thing where, say, if you're shopping and, you see something and it's an impulse buy, maybe walk away and leave and come back. And if you think about it at night and it's still there tomorrow, then okay, maybe it was meant to be. But it's, we are all, I think we're impulsive in this society we live in. It's taught us to be impulsive in some ways. And so it's good to take a step back and think about it and say, do I really need that thing? Can I live without it? I did that actually not too long ago. I was buying some shoes and I bought, like 4 or 5 pair on Amazon, and I'll just return the ones I don't want. And then I thought about it and I said, you know what? I don't really need any of them. I'm just going to return them. I didn't need them. I looked and see what I had in my closet and I'm fine. So I think, we think we need things that we don't always need.
So that you're so right. And we are so impulsive because we, see something online. Oh, that looks cool. Or the, influencer has it. Oh, I want that. So when it comes to money personalities, I'm a spender. I like to spend. I like stuff. I like, my little trinkets and tchotchkes and all of that. And, I have to really catch myself sometimes. So there's a couple of tricks that when I'm working with clients and helping them with their spending strategy, we'll pick up on is I say that a lot. If you go to the store, you see something you really like, go home. And if you're thinking about it the next day or a week, okay, go back and get it. Cause that means it's in your thoughts. You want it, what have you. Or if, Target is a big one. If you go to Target or if you go to the store and you just found, you're like, I just spent way more than I intended and got stuff I don't even need, leave it in your trunk and go about your day and go to bed. And if you wake up the next morning and you're wondering where that thing is, or if you're thinking about it, then okay, fine, go get it. But if you forgot you even bought it, then are you really that excited about it or want it? Or then keep it in your trunk and go and return it.
I like that. That's a good way of doing it. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. That's a fun trick. Or, if you order from Amazon, I'm guilty of it. Leave the package on your front step for a couple of days and then, oh wait, I forgot that's even there. You don't really need it. But
I'm like you. I'm a little bit of a spender too. I like to buy, especially when it comes to clothes. Like you saw, I bought 5 pairs of shoes last week and I did return them all, but I didn't need them.
Yeah,
no, it's sometimes if I shop and there's 2 things that are similar and I can't decide which one, I buy them both, which is really bad.
That's right.
It's true. But one of the tricks that I've taught people is, if you're maxed out on your credit card, take your credit card and put it in a Ziploc baggie and fill it with water and stick it in the freezer.
Wow.
And that way you're not canceling it because you don't want to really cancel your credit cards if you don't have to. It hurts your credit and it's just not the best way to handle it. But, put it away for a while and then, you're not going to be able to grab it if it's there and it's going to take a while to defrost.
Yes, that's true. You have to have a big bag of ice with you.
You'll realize I don't really need that thing anyway. Although funny. It's different online because a lot of us have our credit card memorized or saved. And Amazon, they're saved.
Delete it off that. If you really want it and you're sitting on the couch at 9:30 at night, shopping instead of watching your TV show, you have to get up and get it. If you don't really feel like getting up, then you probably don't need whatever you're trying to buy.
Yeah.
But I think, and it's funny because we're laughing because we've identified these characteristics in us because I think one reason is we talk about money all day. We have taken the lessons on money personalities and money coaching and all of that. And so it comes second nature to us, but to others, they may have no idea. So one thing I say, and I'd like to hear your opinion on this is look at your spending. Look at how what trends do you see? Are you an emotional spender? Just like, emotional eating, right? It could be like with spending. Like, are you an emotional spender? Do you spend when you're bored or have nothing to do or upset or happy or what have you? Where are the trends with your spending? And is it on stuff? Is it on things? Is it on experiences? Where is your money going? So you can kind of understand yourself and understand the way your brain works so you can get some tricks to catch yourself if you get into that, I'm bored, so I'm spending money. So putting your credit card in the freezer could be one of those. I have to get up to get my number if I'm bored on the couch shopping on Amazon. So but I think that's important for the listeners to think about and reflect on for a little bit is what are the trends you see with your spending?
That's a good thing to think about. I like that. Where am I spending it?
Yeah.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense. Am I buying too many clothes that I don't need? Do I have clothes hanging in my closet that still have tags on? Or, what is the case there? Yeah, that's important. I know.
Yeah. It's not fun to think about. It's not fun to kind of hold a mirror up and reflect on one's weaknesses. But like you said before, if you love your money, if you care for your money, it's going to love you right back. So if you identify these trends and make changes, your future self is going to thank you. I always talk about your future self. Is your future self going to be happy with the decision that you make today?
That's so true. That's great. I like that, thinking about the future self.
Yeah. Well, Judy, thank you so much for joining me today. This was such a fun conversation. And If anyone wants to learn about what Judy does and the services she provides, you can go to her website, judithheft.com. It's HEFT.com. And you can also find her books, again, How to Be Smart, Successful, and Organized for a Better Today and Tomorrow, and Mastering Your Financial Life Cycles, How to Successfully Manage Money in Every Decade of Life. They're both available on Amazon. Judy, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Shari. It was really great to talk to you. It was a fun conversation. I always like talking about money, especially personal finances, because, sometimes when we're talking, then I think about something that I need to handle myself, because obviously I'm not perfect in the financial world. I still like, that spending piece crops up every once in a while. So this was really great. It was really interesting. And I also want to mention that I have a podcast too. It's called Mastering Your Financial Life. It's a takeoff on our book. And it's on Spotify, iTunes, wherever anybody listens to their podcast. So thank you so much, Shari. I loved being your guest. I'm looking forward to having you as a guest on my podcast.
Same here. Thank you so much. Ever wondered how to secure your financial future? Introducing Financial Foundations, the ultimate financial planning program. Take control of your money, plan for the future, and build a secure financial foundation. Join us on a journey to financial freedom. Visit greenwaywealthadvisory.com today to start your path to a brighter financial future.